Welcome to the Getting Started presentation for age 10 to 12. You have made an excellent academic decision for your child by choosing Moving Beyond the Pages' rigorous and engaging program. This presentation will help you make the most of this school year. It is loaded with information that will be extremely useful for a new user of Moving Beyond the Page. Moving Beyond the Page will provide you and your child with an engaging educational experience, encouraging critical thinking and creativity. This may be why you chose Moving Beyond the Page to begin with, but now that your living room has 65 books and manipulatives spread around the floor, you may be wondering how to get started. Moving Beyond the Page is different than a traditional program, but it is very easy to implement and is flexible to work around your schedule once you understand how it is structured. We are going to walk you through organizing your books and curriculum. We'll give you an overview of how the curriculum is structured, and then we'll provide some tips on how to plan your year and your individual days with Moving Beyond the Page. The age 10 to 12 level is 1 year of academic instruction. The year is divided into 4 9-week concepts. Each of these 9-week concepts is comprised of 3 science and social studies units and 3 language arts units. Each of these units has about 10 lessons and a final project. Now that may sound like a lot to keep track of, but all you need to know is this. Do 2 lessons each day. 1 lesson from science and social studies and 1 lesson from language arts. At the beginning of the year, you will start with Concept 1, Unit 1 for Science and Social Studies, which is Weather and Climate, and Concept 1, Unit 1 for Language Arts, which is The Wanderer. When you finish both of these units, you simply move on to Unit 2. There is no calendar of days that you have to check. Each day, you simply move on to the next lesson. If your child is sick or if you have to go on a field trip, you just pick up where you left off. It is very simple and flexible. If you do this, you will finish the age 10 to 12 level in 1 academic year. Now that you know how the curriculum is structured, let's get back to that pile of 65 books and manipulatives spread around your living room floor. Each of the 4 concepts has 3 science and social studies units and 3 literature units, some required literature, and maybe some manipulatives. You may want to take a few minutes and organize your books by concept. To do this, you can either use your packing slip or the age 10 to 12 at a glance link at www.movingbeyondthepage.com/getting-started. Either of these methods will show a list of the concepts, how the units tie in together, and the literature that is included in each one. Now that you have your year of curriculum organized by concept, we are ready to look a bit deeper at the curriculum itself. Notice that you have 6 curriculum books in the first concept, 3 science and social studies units, and 3 language arts units. These 3 units of science and social studies and 3 units of language arts comprise your first 9 weeks of curriculum. Moving Beyond the Page is the only curriculum available anywhere that lines up science and social studies topics with language arts topics from the beginning of elementary school through the end of middle school. This will help your child to see more connections in the world around him instead of seeing subjects in isolation. You can also refer to the age 10 to 12 at a glance page mentioned earlier for a complete list of how the units in this level line up together. Now we are going to switch gears and look at the lessons themselves. To do this, we will be looking primarily at the literature unit called The Wanderer. If you are using the online curriculum, you can follow right along. Just select and activate the first language arts unit called The Wanderer. Everything we will be looking at in the hard copy version is also available to you in the online version. And one more thing, if you ever need more time with an online unit, let us know and we'll reset your activation for you. Let's start by looking at the table of contents. Each unit is 3 weeks long. This unit has 10 lessons and a final project. Curriculum at this level is student-directed, and that means that the primary curriculum is written for your student to be able to follow along and direct his own day. You should always be available as a resource, but you should not have to teach the lessons in the same way that our younger levels are structured. Notice on the table of contents that there is a parent overview section that contains an overview for each lesson. The parent overview sections provide you with descriptions of each activity, answer keys, and suggestions for further exploration. If you are using the online version of the curriculum, you can just click the link that says Turn On for the parent overview. This will cause the parent overview sections to display within the lessons as you view them. If you have more than one computer, iPad, or smartphone, you can turn the parent overview on for your computer and leave it off on your child's computer. If you and your child use the same computer, however, you should remember to turn it off when you're finished. Before you start a unit, you should check the required books and materials page to make sure that you have access to all of the materials needed for the next 3 weeks. Many families find that it is helpful to keep a box or crate with all the materials gathered for the unit in one place. This saves you from having to take time each day or even during a lesson to gather materials. Most items can be found in common stores like Walmart or a craft store. If you are using the online version of the curriculum, you should also download and print the student activity pages and reading and questions pages for the unit. If you do this from the table of contents page, you will have all the pages you need for the 3-week unit ready to go before you get started. If you need individual student activity pages later, you can print them off from within the unit. Now let's look more closely at a lesson. Each lesson is presented in an easy-to-use format with a student plan and a parent overview. You should review the parent overview section each day before your child begins the lesson. Each student plan opens with an introduction that will get your child started on the day. After the introduction section is a materials list that shows the student activity pages that are needed as well as general materials. Since you did already gather these materials before you started the unit, your child will have quick and easy access to these items. In the age 10 to 12 level, there are 2 journals that your child will keep through the year, a spelling journal and a language arts journal. The journal is simply a wide-ruled notebook that your child will be instructed to write in through the year. Ideas to think about are questions related to the concept and ideas in each unit. These are not questions that your child needs to answer each morning, but they are conceptual understandings that your child will gain through the lesson. The lesson will help your child to explore and answer these big questions so that her understanding of the concept is reinforced. The things to know section should be thought of as memory work. This section will outline the knowledge and vocabulary that your child will learn or memorize in the curriculum. Each unit has a review sheet that summarizes the things to know for each unit. This should be used as a quick daily review. Activities and reading and questions are the primary component of moving beyond the page lessons. Most lessons include 2 to 3 activities for your child to engage in. Some activities include activity pages from the student activity book, while others involve hands-on learning experiences such as creating posters, conducting science experiments, using math manipulatives, or acting something out. There are also many activities where you share and discuss stories with your child. Some activities have options, and these are called differentiated activities, and they let you tailor your child's experience to either his academic ability or his personal interest. When an activity has 2 options, simply review the activity and decide which one your child should do. Depending on the activity, you may discuss this with your child first to see which one he would prefer to complete. Moving Beyond the Page is a literature-based curriculum, so there are a number of reading and questions assignments. The language arts curriculum will include a reading and questions section almost every day. This section will outline the day's reading and then ask some questions related to the reading. Some of the questions will be reading and comprehension questions, but others are designed to help your child think critically about the text, determine a character's motive, or think of alternative solutions to a problem. Our goal is for children to become strong readers and critical thinkers. Since this is a student-directed curriculum, the reading and question sections are in line with the curriculum. The structure is simple and easy to follow. Your child can just write the answers directly in the book. The lesson will end with a conclusion that often involves summarizing ideas presented in the lesson and asking your child to explain what he has learned. In language arts, the only aspect of the program that is outside the daily lessons is the spelling program. The weekly schedule for spelling is really simple. First, you will need to set aside about 30 minutes each week. During that 30 minutes, your child will complete a weekly quiz on a computer, tablet, or iPad. He may have to take this quiz multiple times until he gets all of the new words correct. Finally, you will review the missed words with your child and reinforce any spelling rules that give your child problems. We provide you with tools to make this really simple. To get started, just navigate a web browser to www.movingbeyondthepage.com. Click the online link in the upper right corner and then select your name from the list of students. It is important that your child be able to read the novels and books independently. The books in the age 10 to 12 level are generally between a 6th and 7th grade reading level. Now that you are familiar with the structure of the curriculum and the structure of the lessons themselves, let's take a look at what a typical day might look like. You will spend about 2.5 hours implementing Moving Beyond the Page. It is a good idea to begin or end with about 10 minutes of review using the review sheet available within your curriculum or as a download on our website. Moving Beyond the Page covers science, social studies, and language arts, so you will also need a separate math program as well. Don't be surprised if it takes a few weeks or even up to a month for your child to get comfortable using a student-directed curriculum. After the first unit, or maybe 2, he should have the process figured out and will probably begin to appreciate the autonomy he will receive with a student-directed curriculum. Moving Beyond the Page will give you the framework for a fabulous year of learning. We hope your child learns a lot, grows as a thinker and a creator, and has a lot of fun in the process. If we can be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And happy homeschooling.